Welcome to Alpha Wolf Capital. I'm Tim, and I want to personally thank you for stopping by. This channel is designed to help small companies, both public and private, gain exposure with potential consumers, investors, even partners. Take, for example, today's guest, CEO and founder Darin Myman from DatChat. DatChat Inc. is a blockchain, cybersecurity, and social media company that not only focuses on protecting our privacy on our devices, but also protecting our information after we have shared it with others. They believe that an individual's right to privacy should not end the moment they click send, and that we all deserve the same right to privacy online that we enjoy in our own living rooms. Their flagship product, the DatChat Messenger and Private Social Network, is a privacy platform and mobile application that provides users the ability to communicate, share with the privacy and protection they deserve. There's a lot more that is developed with DATS, and I'm going to let Darin tell you about that in just a moment. This is not to be taken as investment advice. I am not a certified financial planner. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. I encourage everyone to do their own due diligence. Hey everybody, Tim from Alpha Wolf Capital coming at you with a follow-up update meeting with my man, Darin from DatChat. How you doing, Darin?
Doing great today. Thank you for having us on again, Tim.
Thanks for coming on. So we were talking a little bit before we hopped on, and you got a lot of exciting stuff going on, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm gonna let you kind of share what you're most excited about, and we'll just keep rolling with that.
well, there's two portions of what we're really excited about. The first is our former subsidiary just announced that they filed for an IPO. They're pretty far along in the process. That's RPM Interactive, and they're AI focused, and they're developing kind of an interesting product. One one side of it is it allows anyone to create AI driven content, meaning anyone could go and create a podcast, use content they find on the internet, and create it with full video. It's all done automatically. It's fully automated. So it creates a script. It assigns, avatars that look lifelike, that are talking back and forth. And you can publish that and publish that to the web. Someone like yourself might want to use it sometime. But the other side, thus, what really excites me is the consumer facing side of it is the same engine that we built for called Catch Up that puts together this content for podcasts can be used to create a personal entertainment and news broadcast just for you that you get, let's say, once a day, twice a day. And you give it some topics, it generates it every day. Let's say you want to know about Bitcoin every day, or you want to know about your favorite sports team. It summarizes all the news and it can be fed to you in a couple different ways. One way that could come in, obviously, is like a written list, just like a bullet sheet. But the more fun way is to have either an audio or video podcast, just like the one everyone's watching right now, where you pick the avatar, you have your host for your show, the sound of his voice, and it feeds into you, which is really cutting edge stuff. But what we're really doing is using this catch up engine to make it easy for anyone to use AI, where you don't really have to think about it and go digging deep. It finds you what you want to say. It's like your own personal Netflix in a way.
Right, right. And is that, just so I'm clear, is that backed off of blockchain technology? Is that
Now, that's driven off all of the AI. It goes out, uses all the AI out there, and allows it easily to create what you want to create, right down
okay?
to whether you want voice or video or the news you want when you want it. And if you're a content creator, same thing. You go in, you put in, I want to make a podcast out of this. It automatically does it in a few minutes. depending on how long of a podcast you want.
And
Obviously,
that subsidiary, DATS owns how much?
we own 34% or 12.5 million shares.
Okay.
We reserve, well, they've reserved the symbol RPMI,
Okay.
which hopefully we're trading on the Nasdaq in a few months. Yeah, we're going through the process. Nothing's guaranteed, but
Right.
they've already been got a few rounds of comments. We're nearing the end of the SEC process, and it goes over to the underwriters, and we got to
Okay.
place the deal and get this thing traded.
And then, and that depends on how long it takes to get that funded, right? You have X amount of dollars. Well, you have to actually now, if you're going for the
Correct.
NASDAQ, you've got to raise 15 million,
Correct.
right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to help with that process, we have a really good management team coming in. Anyone that reads the S1, Michael Matthews, who in a previous life sold one of his companies to Yahoo. You know, they built an advertising network that was very successful. He's
Okay.
built online colleges and universities. So we have a really good leader coming in to lead this portion of the company. And
Okay.
where we could then focus clearly on Myseum, which we think, at least in my opinion, is going to be very, very large and significant new invention and platform for the world. I think we had talked about 60 or 90 days getting all the information we've got in from the photo managers.
Yep.
So let me bring you up to date on what we're working on right now. Obviously,
Okay.
new look and feel. We're making it pretty quick, slick, and fast to use. We're making it easier to invite people. We're making it easier to choose your theme in your galaxy. One of the feedback we got from the photo managers, it looked a little gamified, a little bit too gamey or cartoony. So now if you want a sky, more star shooting or just a simple background on your galaxy, it'll be there. But the other piece that I think will get us to grow very quickly is not only preserving your photos for the future, connecting everyone into future generations. We're building something, it's called Pop-Up Gala, what I call social group photo sharing, that makes it easier to share your photos today and more fun. And if I had to summarize it, it's an instant social network for everyone, even if you're not connected to them. You don't have to be connected in Myseum. You could be with them. They could automatically connect to you, and 200 people could be sharing things. And at the end, unlike people say group text, it's all stored nice and neat, all those pictures in an album with all the comments and all the descriptions. It's just cool stuff. We're in the process now of hiring a public relations firm. We're planning our marketing. This is going to roll out hardcore for us in September.
Yeah. So when you say public relations firm, you're not talking about an IR firm. You're talking about a public, going out to the public and talking about your product, right?
We want you to see this in news, magazines. We want everyone talking about this. This
Right.
is about building a brand that could get very large very quickly.
Right. And speed, ease of use. And I mean, there's nothing else out there like it.
Look, we're the first multi-generational social network that connects you. I always call it the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I wish I could get him. He'd be my ideal spokesperson if I could. I'm not saying I'm working on it, but he's like, this is 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And you can control who you connected to, and that's part of the photo manager's input, being able to connect with just the people you want within your universe. So
Right.
my family could see this, my work could see that, my soccer club could see this. And if I was just at a baseball game with our attorneys and underwriters. If someone took a picture, we all have it instantly. And that is the winning proposition of DatChat,
Yeah.
and that propels us.
You think about how many personally, I just went to an event last night for F1, the
Mhm.
release premiere for F1.
And the new movie.
It was awesome, man. I mean, I'm so glad I went and saw it in an IMAX theater because I don't think I would have appreciated it as much as if I would have watched it at home on the big screen. Right? I mean, it was really. I was surprised that I actually liked it as much as I liked it, but it was
I'm going to go see it this weekend. I've got your recommendation.
Yeah, man, it's a good one. I thought it looked the previews looked like a little cheesy to me. Not a cheesy movie. Go see it.
Will
You're
do.
gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's a good movie, but I mean, I could tell you're excited, man. I could feel it, right?
The, with DatChat, you talk to people about privacy. Not everyone cares. We solve problems now. Forgetting the saving photos and that digital shoebox. It's if we're at a family gathering, how do we all share pictures without looking over people's shoulders
Right.
and having or getting their phone passed around, which most people won't do? How do we make it if one person takes a picture of a group shot and another one, say, hey, text that to me or, shoot that over to me? How do you create that instant connection? And here's the important part. People go, well, what about Google Albums or one of these, group photo things? You don't have to be connected to somebody. You don't have to get an invite to join. Scan a QR code right at the party, or the party has it up, and everyone's together. And then later you can connect on Myseum. And then at the end, you have those memories. Everyone has them. If you want that, if the creator wants that,
Right.
everyone then has them. And it's organized and all the pictures are together. You don't have to go scrolling through text or whatever it is. Or, hey, send me a friend request on Facebook and then I'll see your stuff from this party. No, this is social group photo and media sharing. It's an instant social network created for any reason that you need.
Yep.
With the
It's
fun stuff, likes,
yeah,
not likes, all that stuff.
yeah. No, I mean, look, it's we talked about it before we hopped on. It's kind of somewhat of a complex story. I mean, it sounds more complex than it really is, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think once, and you're talking also about just the functionality of the site itself is going to be a lot smoother, cleaner, quicker, right?
We've had some great new hires. One guy did a lot of work for Uber Eats. Love his designs. The developers are making it super fast. Where if you want to upload 200 pictures as a clip to Myseum, you can do that now in one shot. So it's a process in the back, but they all
Yeah.
upload. We're making it so that if you have to download the app and you want to get in quick, you can. It can be done in 30 seconds now,
That's how many? How fast?
within 30 seconds. Depends
Wow.
how fast you type.
Right.
So there will be two registrations. One, if you want to get quick into a gala, so you have everything saved, name, location, and age, basically it. And it verifies your phone. You put in your phone number, it shoots it right back to you.
Wow.
Boom. You're
And
now
you're
in.
in.
You're part of the gala. That's all you need. If you want to log in the future, you could use Google, Apple, or just use your phone number. You'll get a verification code, knows it's you.
Okay. And you got
We're
some.
making this to grow very quickly. We're changing social networking and social sharing and what we're doing with these, the way we're making it easier to share now. But also, how do we pass this along or share with the people we want? Think of how many kids, if you go to a kid's soccer game, the parents are all taking photos, have an instant pop up gala that they're all sharing right
Yeah.
into that and have it.
Right.
But
It's awesome. I mean,
But it's not just pictures, it's comments and descriptions. And if you want to load 10 pictures into the gala, you can and put what each one is if you choose. It's instant social networking. And that's the cool part. So what we're doing now to make sure we're hiring the PR firm, we're putting our marketing plans in place to make sure everyone knows about pop-up gala as soon as possible for us. Our goal is to make this big very quickly and have a phenomenal 2025.
and you're looking at so you're looking at what end of August, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, sometime between the end of August, the middle of August and end of August, everything will be complete.
So would you recommend people log into the app now, or would you say wait?
I'm gonna say wait till mid-August. It's a little ugly still because all the colors are changing. It's slick, it's fast. Why not start with the good experience? Because it's going to be something you're going to use probably for the rest of your life. Not kidding.
Yeah, and so I agree with that. I think waiting until you feel as though you got the app pretty much dialed in. I mean, there's always going to be little hiccups, bugs here and there, but you know, wait until you get that thing dialed in pretty strongly, and then launch, right? Because then the
Yeah.
experience is so much better.
Yeah. When I talk to people I just met about this, it's something you can explain in 15 seconds. They get it. It's like, aren't you tired of looking over someone's shoulder at
Right.
pictures? Aren't you tired of asking someone to text me that photo? Especially if you're in the same room. But you don't have to be in the same room. You could be anywhere you could have a group of friends going out at the same time around the country and sharing. And that's where the DatChat stuff comes in. Bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, birthday parties, guys going out having a good time. Everyone could be sharing, and using the self-destructs so you can't screenshot this.
Which is
Well,
another feature that you do have that
yes.
I have actually seen. It was just pretty interesting, right? I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, you can't screenshot it. It's impossible.
Yeah. Well, matter of fact, if you try, it tells everyone you tried, and it self-destructs when you're trying to screenshot, so you can't, go grab a phone or something to do
So you got busted. You let everybody know
it. Yeah,
that you got busted, which is great.
yeah.
And
Let
then it
everyone
just
know who the bad apple in the group is. And that exists now, and now we're building that into the instant photo sharing, the social photo sharing we're working on. DatChat, I think this will help propel it to greatness as well, becoming part of Myseum. Just like Facebook has its messenger, Myseum has DatChat. All
yeah,
coming together.
yeah, it
This is
is
it.
coming together, man. It is coming together. And I kind of last time we met, I kind of thought. I mean, I thought you had a pretty aggressive timeline on these after the photo managers meetup. It sounded like there were quite a few things that were going to change, and then there's been even more since, right? So you kind of have a
Mhm.
what do you call it? You kind of have a panel that's helping you out, right?
Yeah, we have an advisory board we formed from the photo managers that
Okay.
are guiding us for their needs. And I'll tell you, everyone loves this, instant photo sharing. And we've made the look and feel changes for them. They're all going in and the little pieces and be able to create groups and whatnot. And how do we get people in and make it easy for them to invite people? This all feeds from real people in the real world doing what we, in our field. I see a day in the not too distant future when, I'm going to be announcing how many pop-up galas and how many people use Myseum and pop-up gala over the weekend. And by the way, this is a feature in Myseum because museums have galas. That's why we named it that.
I love it, man. I mean, it's getting exciting now. This is what I would say. You may wait on the app to get into that until mid-August, but we're going to talk about the chart right now, which I think I have a fairly decent handle on what's going on with the chart, but we'll take a look. And the stock is actually acting exactly what's happening, which is you are kind of in this zone of news is happening, stuff is
Mhm.
happening, and you're building a base essentially, right? So how those things play out will likely reflect in the share price. So what you've got going on is you've been in this kind of consolidation mode for a while now, right? I mean, since you have some anomalies, you have these big pops, and you don't even know yourself. You've said straight
Right.
out, I have no idea why this thing is running, right? But it shows you the magnitude of the move, what it can be. Imagine if there's some real substantial news behind that move, right?
Yeah. We're this close to being able to show user growth in a big way.
Right.
So,
So knowing that, saying, okay, now this thing is coiling up, and that's really what's happening. If you just look, you can see. I'm gonna grab a. So if you look, it's oops. Grab my okay. It's coiling up, right? So let's just
yep.
say like a flag, like a pennant flag, and that pennant flag at some point, it's just like a spring. You keep compressing a spring, compressing it, compressing it, compressing it, and then you have something that expands that spring, lets it go, and it's either going to be something bad or it's going to be something good, right? And if it's something good, you can see this thing break out of this flag formation in how many shares you got outstanding, fully diluted?
Right now about 4.2
Yeah,
approximately.
4.2, which
No.
is nothing, right? So makes it very, which is makes the recent trading action when you've had some massive volume days, right?
Hmm. Yeah, we
Massive,
trade very well. Sometimes news that I don't find important either.
right? Right. So if you get some really significant news, this thing could get fun quickly, and it's not like this is. I can comfortably say or recommend buy one or two stocks. Buy one or two. That way you pay attention to the story because you own it. Sign up for the email alerts. That way when new stuff develops, you get it sent directly to your email. And if this thing, if the news is significant and it does break the way it has, this is what I will say to you. If you don't have any shares at all, it will be much more difficult if it pops and then doesn't come right back down like it's done the last couple of times. Everybody will be waiting for that pullback that never comes because the news flow will then be, I mean, cat's out of the bag, and if it takes off as well as you anticipate, I mean, it'd be like saying, okay, I have the ability to go back in time and buy Facebook before Facebook really took off, right? Same thing here, but this is not Facebook. This could be a game changer for social, right? And you give the perfect example. How many events happen in a weekend between friends, families? I mean, there's so many events, birthdays and ball games and whatever, right?
Around the world, not just
Around
in the US.
around the world, right? And to be able to have that gallery where you could have a group of people that are at this event, and instead of, I mean, that's everybody's own personal perspective of what they're seeing at that party at that time, right?
Hmm.
And I have had in the past, I have had people that have found photos of maybe somebody that isn't really close to me, but they were in my photo somehow, right? And people are like, "Can I have that photo?" Because that person meant something special to them. I didn't know them, but they got caught up in my picture somehow. And
Hmm.
just think about that. If you think about that possibility of people having those pictures of themselves or whatever from your perspective, your angle, right? That could be a very powerful thing. Very, very powerful thing. So I think there's a whole lot of exciting things going on here, and you've got some new features. I know you don't want to let everything out of the bag, but stay tuned. You are hiring a PR firm because, like you said, you want to make a big splash with this thing.
Yeah. I've used it successfully in the past, and this is how you get in magazines, newspapers, online, everywhere, television. Yeah, and you know what? Myseum, by solving the problem of making it easier and fun to share now, it's a good story. Everyone wants to say, Myseum's a great story for saving intergenerational, but this solves a problem both today and into the future. Um, that's, to me, the key to success for Myseum. We've
Yeah.
got it all coming together. We're almost done. There'll always be development and new features. Like we want to add slideshows and all these other things that we could talk about, but they're boring. Just what we're launching and we're working on is the least best product we need to make it big fast. And that's what this next version to me is. Nothing's guaranteed, but to me, this next version is the least best version we need to make it just go
Yep.
as a
And you have
product.
it, and you do have intellectual property, just in case everybody is questioning that. You do have a bit of a moat there on some of the things.
Mhm.
How you doing on cash? You're good on cash, right?
Uh, 2 years of cash into that. Fine.
And you do it.
No plans to raise cash in the near future. We have enough to get this in, get it at, launch it and get it up.
However, if you did need to raise, or no, not need. Let me rephrase that. If you had an event that spiked the stock up to $15 or whatever, could you take advantage of that and 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 get some cash at a very nice premium?
Yeah, we have a shelf file, we have an ATM facility in place. And if we saw that, because the cash that we take in would just propel the growth more in terms of marketing, advertising, developer growth. And
Right.
by the way, we do all our own development. It's all done in our offices in New Jersey, except for one guy that's in Orlando. And you should see them working together. This is the first time I've seen developers actually
Yeah.
excited because they barely talk. I'm not even kidding.
I
And
can see that, right? I mean, they're part of something that could reshape social media in a massive way. I can see them being excited because they know what's coming, right?
they're collaborating, they're solving the problems that come up, and there's a general excitement.
Right.
Plus, they want to go on another developer conference at the end of this run. So, at the end of the sprint of development. So,
Right. Now, Darin, look, man, I'm excited about this story. I mean, I am anxious for the product, right? I mean, I want to see it badly, and so it's in a way it's a little disappointing because I was hoping you were going to be done in the 60 days that you were saying, you know what I mean? But
we're
I also
close.
I also recognize that there's a lot going on there, right? So, and there's a lot that continues to come. It's not like this is a very fluid situation. Would you say that?
It's very fluid, and as we get the feedback from the photo managers, and we prioritize the pop-up gala over the groups right away, it changes some of the time frames. And we wound up redoing the registration process, the invite system, which was fine, but to make them geared to grow very quickly.
Right. And painlessly for the consumer,
Yes.
right?
hmm Yeah. Well, even just having the part where you don't have to be a member of Myseum to join a pop-up gala.
Okay, so you got a couple of so you've got the IPO, which you go 34% of, right?
hmm
Which means if that IPO does well, that's another potential influx of cash,
Yes,
possibly, right?
correct.
And
It-
when you do get this thing settled for the current shareholders of DATS, that could potentially be a kicker for them too.
of course, we have 12.5 million shares of RPM Interactive, which is AI focused, as I said, making AI easy for everyone, creating a personal news and entertainment network. If that's well received by the market and we get through the whole process, yeah, it would be just at the price it would have to trade at initially, it would be more than our market cap today. It doesn't really price it in because there's still risks involved and we have to get through the process, but we've been doing it for a while. But
Mhm.
that's like a little treasure chest within DatChat that may or may not. Yeah, it's like a lottery ticket.
Right, right. I mean, it's a lottery ticket. It couldn't hurt. It's another addition, potentially an additional spike especially in your stock, right?
Yeah. And not a drain on us at all in
Right.
terms of people or money.
Yep. All right, Darren, you think I covered everything, man?
I think we covered a lot today, so thank you.
All right. Listen, so when do we have you back? After the rollout, after the IPO? I mean, when do we have you back? Maybe
Well,
right
let's do
before
it
the
after
IPO?
we have a
Uh-huh.
shareholder meeting coming up, so maybe late July, early August. If you want
O-
me a little sooner, I can.
Okay.
I think we'll have some news then too. So
Okay. Perfect, man. Thank you for coming in and doing this.
thank you. Take care.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to another CEO interview here at Alpha Wolf Capital. Today we had Darin Myman from DatChat Inc. I hope you enjoyed today's interview, and if you did, do us a favor, give us a like. How about giving us a share? And while you're at it, make sure you smash that subscribe button. All of those things are extremely important to us here at Alpha Wolf Capital, and we appreciate you taking the time to do that. Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Capital wishes you the very best of success.